I must apologize, we took this build a step too far because we're committing fantasy war crimes left, right, and center by just one hit lightning bolt destroying everyone in our vicinity. And this Thunder Lash, it can also jump between enemies. So it's not just one enemy being one hit, it's everything just being destroyed. Where do you find the spell and where do you get every piece of equipment to boost your spell power all the way to 300% early? And what tricks can you apply in your spirituality tree to boost your spell power to the moon? Disclaimer, in order to pick up the spell, you should at least be level 5. Better it would be to be level 10. For the beginning steps to level 10, where you get yourself the Necromancer's Robe and the War Druidic Mask already. We have a video in the description below that's like prologue and after for the first spells. And the reason for that is simple. In order to pick up the spell, you need to travel from the Horns of the South to the north, past the crypts, all the way to the abandoned stronghold. It is this little castle, and it is infested by enemies. Check the clip here. They're going to be trying to absolutely maul you. And you'll be having to dance around them, suck their life out, shoot fireballs at them, or just bonk them dead. After killing everything or running past, you just head to the right and pick up the letter that's nailed here. This will teach you the Thunder Lash. Technically, you can just rush in and grab it. You don't actually have to fight your way through. If you discover the whole of this castle, you can also find the Winter Crone's Wrath, a shotgun ice projectile, and the Scorching Blaze. This one though costs over 100 mana in a charged up version, so you're not going to be able to use that yet. Next up, my weapon. It's the Staff of Othila, increasing my spell power by another 16%, has also block, and it drops from Exiled Nobleman. You can technically find them everywhere in the world. I have 2 locations for you. That is at the teleport point Arkspire, here at the King's Road, where you get the Rusty Arkdale quest as well, or all the way to the right next to the Ruined Broch. In a cave right here is another nobleman. You just walk up, use your cool lightning spell to commit more war crimes, and then below here it's going to be a little camp with a horse, and there's going to be this desperate peasant, and there is also a nobleman. I killed him already. He doesn't seem to respawn. He gave me my staff. And don't forget, as soon as you have the staff, to teleport back to the Horns of the South, and then you can walk up to the Grindstone, upgrade, and actually upgrade said staff. This is my Staff of Othila. If you then have the Iron Ore, if you then have the Sharpening Stones, I can make mine +7 already. I have the money to do this. It's quite expensive, but it increases the spell power further, and further. Therefore, really pick up all the equipment pieces that you don't need to keep continuously selling them, that you do have the coin to keep upgrading your weapon. It started at 10, now it's almost at 20, twice what it was before. This brings us to my amulet, the Amulet of the Waning Moon. Spell power by 10, magic critical strike chance, and maximum mana by 10%. This is so important as you need to push your maximum mana all the way to above the hundreds. Teleport back to the Arkspire. And from the Arkspire, we're making our way up to the Druidic Shrine. It's a simple forward walk-in, and then you do turn to the left. Ta-da. Got it. There's even a little quest waiting you next to it. Here at the Druidic Shrine, you offer animal parts, and then it just gave me the Amulet of the Waning Moon. Ta-da. Now I got more Waning Moon stuff, and that would be the Wraps of the Waning Moon for another 10% increased spell power, and spell power additionally by 15% when health is lower than max mana. And lo and behold, my health is 104, my mana is 132. Ba-bam! Double booster. For these gloves, we travel down to the Horns of the South again, and then yeet ourselves off the cliff or walk the way down to this Druidic Shrine. Oh, we can actually yeet ourselves off the cliff. I wasn't sure if I'm just going to tell you hocus pocus, but I can probably survive that, right? Professional. Ta-da! You get the shrine already. Fantastico. Don't forget that you have a whole beach of drowners. You can easily farm here for some bonus XP. But that's not actually what is interesting. There's also this tent, accompanied by red caps, in case you haven't been here yet and you're missing out some nice equipment, because in this chest you can find the Druidic gear. that gives you mana regeneration. That's pretty much the step before this one, if you're just starting out with the game. For this, we get the video in the description below, starter-wise. Our chest piece, the Necromancer Robe, that gives us 2.5 mana regeneration. That's a lot. You will, step 1, make your way to the Hunter's Camp. That's to the north of the Horn of South. Here at the Dude, you can pick up a quest to kill a Necromancer. And then you will pass by his camp all the way over to the Ancient Crypt. This one can be achieved with level 2, 3 already. It's easier with level 5. Make your way inside the crib. Talk to the dude in front of the crypt so you actually get access to it. And then go and kill the Necromancer inside. Necromancer inside is quite easy with a life sucking into beating him to death. It will provide you with a Necromancer's Robe, but also with a Necromancer's Mask, which increases your max mana by 10. If you don't have a Faded Hood yet, that's also a good choice. And an alternate weapon to the Staff of Othila is the Skull Staff he gives you, which increases your mana shield, more damage is being taken from mana, and on hit restore 10% of damage dealt as mana. Swinging with it, you're continuously soaking back. I prefer the Othila Staff as I really want my Thunder Lash to be as much damage as possible. And for your chest piece, the same rules apply as for your wand. Go to the smith, back to the Horns of South, upgrade, then choose your chest piece. I have it upgraded already, and get yourself more armor. You are wearing light armor. Make sure to weasel out as much as you can. I went from a 2 to a 6 already. That's fantastic. Same can go for the helmet and for the boots. Now we get our pants, which give us mana plus 10. That's good. More mana than life gives us the bonus spell power, and also 3 mana regeneration when not in combat. This is quite useful as you finish your opponents and then just soak back up to just run right up into the next guys. Technically, the Druidic pants from that Druidic set I mentioned earlier might be better as they work in combat, or later you could get the Arcanist Breeches, which actually provide 7 armor. It's kind of crazy. But I do like the max mana to get the bonus that you're looking for and to be able to just hurl spells better. The breaches are super close by. You can teleport down to the Sunken Village, where you have quests anyways. Don't get hit by the downers. And then we're just walking down past the bell to the fire you see in the distance. Yep, that would be your next Druidic Shrine, namely on the map right here. And you can pick yourself up the breaches. Now I'm currently playing the Faded Hood, which increases my spell power by 10%, and for the love of God, I cannot remember where this one is from, but I have an alternative for you. For this, we're actually teleporting to the Ruined Broch, which is right next to the King's Road and the Arc Spire, so pretty much on the right side of the map where we have been before, and we could make our way to another Druidic Shrine. And probably we'll get the question, what animal parts do you actually put in there? It really doesn't matter. They do give different amounts of XP though. When I approach the Druidic Shrine, it gives me incoming healing, critical strike damage bonus, and I'm gonna hand it a, what was always working very good, in this case, an Antler Fragment. Boom, 1300 XP, and the Cowl of the Waning Moon. Now this one gives you mana regeneration 1, that's cool, and then mana regeneration by 50% when below 25% max mana. And let's be fair, like when I'm spamming this, or if I'm even like fully charging it, I am going below that mana really quick. And if we now consider that you actually want to use in the long run the Scorching Blaze for that super hit, then my mana is just instantly empty, but we have that bonus quicker mana regeneration that we are getting. And then we can shoot like this super explosion that hopefully does tons of damage. And that, with the Elemental Shock skill here on the right, elemental damage is 45% stronger against targets with full health. If I do then 100 damage, 45% more damage, ha ha ha, very good. We'll get down to the skill tree after we're done with the equipment. For my boots, you guessed right, it is another Waning Moon piece of gear, which increases the movement speed multiplier when your mana is below 25%. That allows you to zoom a bit faster as you spam yourself empty. And in most fights, I have like completely spent my mana empty and don't really wait for it to regain. So I just zoom around them harder and we get another 10% spell power. The 10% spell power increases are so good. For these shoes, we're teleporting to the King's Roads, right side of the South Horns and on top of the Blood Lake. And then we're making our way on tippity-toppity of the Blood Lake. We get some zombies down there. That's not what we're looking forward to. You're gonna move up, and then here. In this little mountain path, you have another shrine. Gonna destroy that poor little corpse eater. Boink. And then prey, animal parts. This time you're going to be getting a monster brain. That's also a big piece of experience. And actually, I lied to you. This is not the shoes of the waning moon. This would be the robes of the waning moon. They taking damage restores 5 mana and increase maximum mana by 15. Thing is, I don't actually take a lot of damage. That's why I don't think the robes of the waning moon are good. And that's why I didn't mention them. Because I got 2.5 mana regeneration always. Not when I take damage. Like zooming around our opponents, like flicking, dashing, dodging. I don't think the robes are good. The Necromancers are just better. Which only leaves one shrine to be the one for the boots. And that would be this Druidic shrine located next to the abandoned stronghold. Simply turn away from the teleport point, run through the gap in the wall, and then head straight past through the greenery, deleting everything with one-shots. And you can already see the Druidic shrine up the hill waiting for you. You got your equipment pieces donezo. Fantastic. For my rings, I haven't found anything exceptional yet. So post in the comments below if you found something. I just have one with more max mana, but you also get one of this version in the tutorial. And I got one with increased mana shield. And I don't even know where they were from. Right now, I swap them around sometimes with attack speed. We can get more max health and max stamina. So I haven't found anything like super good for more spell power. And by the way, the Archer's Ring does not seem to work because the range damage is actually separated from the spell power. So it does not make me do more damage. That being said, tell us in the comments if you found something exceptional there. Now to the final important piece, your attributes and your skill tree. For attributes, you boost spirituality and endurance to wield all these pieces. In the beginning, I put some points into strength because I thought I might actually need it. But that's wrong. I definitely don't need it. There is no reason to ever put a point in strength for me. Nope. It is endurance, spirituality, more mana regeneration, more spell power. Then for your skills, we're going under spirituality. And first, I boosted arcane teachings to 50% because that's just 50% more damage. Then you also put 1 point into imbibed by the elements here. For dealing elemental damage, applies corresponding status buildup. And then we get another 45% damage against targets with full health. This then has us swap over to the left side here for ones and cubes. Because soul cubes and ones increase spell power by 45% when equipped. Bam! Another huge bonus. Then ones have a stronger effect. Okay, sure, that's not bad. If your one is giving you spell damage, it gives you actually more spell damage. So I'm going to increase this point as well. But also, ones grant 20% mana shield when equipped. Mana shield incoming damage is divided between health and mana. This helps you to just stay alive more. I might take the energy feedback loop where ones have a chance to restore 50% of spells mana cost when equipped. It's kind of very good. But we're also investing points here into Tiresome Weave, where critical spell hits reduce target stamina. And then for 20% higher chance to stun enemies when dealing damage. And I'm going to increase this chance even further as you want to throw your lightnings and then they just stagger, and you can keep spamming them. Don't forget that on the right side in the general buffs area, we can increase our maximum mana that we can actually throw our spell. And then if you travel to the bottom right, this one, Eldritch Desperation, when below 30% mana, increase spell power by 50%. This is very good for boss fights because you're going to have your mana spammed empty. And then as you regain your shoot, and this is always going to be then super empowered shots. And if you want to be fancy, you can also put 1 point into movement speed multiplier, increases spell power by the same amount. Because we have the Shoes of the Waning Moon that gives us more movement speed as we then spam our spells empty. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to go out there and commit war crimes left, right, and center? Tell me in the comments below. And if you are still completely starting out just yet, there's the starter video and there's the live stream where we just figured out how to commit war crimes. Enjoy and have a fantastic good day.